Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is going to be kind of a shorter YouTube video, a little bit less tactical, and a little bit more of just kind of some things I've learned over the past 5, 6 years scaling my business to multiple seven figures. And so as you probably know, we run a coaching program called Master Filmmaker. And so we help a lot of videographers, video business owners, video agency owners scale to 6 and 7 figures using our inbound system, which heavily relies on paid ads, tracking metrics, just as any business would. And I think there's something that's really interesting because we talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people kind of struggle because they don't know their numbers. And one of the biggest things you can do to improve any metric within your business is to actually know the numbers of that department of the problem you're trying to fix, right? So like a lot of times we'll talk to people and they'll be like, well, I just feel like I'm not getting a lot of clients this month. And then we'll break it down. We'll be like, okay, cool. So like how many clients have you gotten this month? Or how many people have you gotten? Well, 2. Okay. And then how many conversations or how many leads did you get? And they'll say, well, I don't really know. And then we'll ask, well, how many calls did you get? And they'll say, well, I don't really know. And so you can kind of see how this is an issue and this could be a problem for them because you need to understand what specific numbers are you tracking, should you be tracking, and what actually moves the needle. Because you could be focusing a lot of time and effort on things that don't actually matter within the business, and then you're just spinning your wheels and feeling frustrated because you don't actually know why you're not moving forward. And so if there's any advice I can give you is track the numbers, like track all of your numbers, because if you don't track it, you can't improve it. And that was one of the things one of my mentors taught me early on is like, if you don't know what it is that you're doing, then like, it's going to be really difficult to track it. So like, for example, if you're trying to lose weight, it's just math. If you're trying to grow your business, it's just math. And so if you're trying to lose weight, it just becomes like, how many calories are you eating every day? What are your macros? How much protein, fat, and carbs are you eating? And then how much are you burning? And so like, if you don't track that, use something like MyFitnessPal, or there's plenty of other apps out there where it's like track how much you're eating and then literally go to the gym and make sure that you're working out or taking walks or whatever it may be. And so as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. And same with business. As long as you're getting a certain amount of leads, a certain amount of calls, they will turn into clients and money based on how many leads you're getting, what your lead to call ratio is, what your call to close ratio is, and then what your cash collected is up front. And so it just comes down to like actually tracking the numbers and understanding like, okay, how many leads did I get? Let's say I got 100 leads. Out of those 100 leads, how many of them turned into calls? Let's say 20 of them turned into calls. Okay. And then out of the 20 calls, how many of those calls showed up? And then out of the calls that showed up, how many of them closed? And then what's your current price point? And if it's, 25K or 30K or whatever it may be for your video retainers, then you would just multiply that out. So like, 100 leads, 20 of them come in and become calls. Let's say 70% of them show. So that would be what? Like 16 calls, 15 calls show. And then of those 15 calls, let's do some math. Let's say you close at 30%, then that's 4 clients, right? And so you close 4.5, let's just say 4 clients. And let's say that your packages are 10K, just for example, 10 times 4 is $40,000, right? And so business just becomes a math problem. So then if you know that you want to hit $40,000 a month, then you know you need to get 100 leads, you know that you need to get 20 calls, you know that 15 of those calls are going to show up, and then of those 15 calls, you're typically going to close about 4 of them at your price point of 10K, and then that equals 40K, right? So it's not, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like when you break it down like that, it becomes less airy-fairy and less scary per se. And it becomes a lot easier to be like, okay, if I want to hit 50K a month or 100K a month, I simply just need to do these steps, or I simply just need to do these things, right? And I think a lot of people just overcomplicate it and never get there because they don't track how many leads they're getting, how many calls they're getting, how many clients they're getting, what the average cash collected is, right? They don't track any of those things. So then they're not able to actually scale because if you don't track, you don't know how to improve it. So, I mean, and obviously like business is not sexy all the time and tracking is not sexy all the time. I'll tell you that. But when it comes down to it, like business is literally just a bunch of spreadsheets and numbers and that's it. And so I know it feels emotionally hard to hit maybe 50, 60, 100, 200, 300K a month. But I'll tell you from experience that when you hit it, it really comes down to like, okay, that was just math. Like, and if you, let's say you're, doing 20K a month and you're generating 50 leads a month, then like, if you want to hit 40K a month, theoretically, all you would need to do is generate 100 leads a month, right? Or maybe 120. right? Or 130, whatever it may be. And so if you don't have a way to generate those leads, then you just need to backtrack. And that's one of the things we help our clients with, obviously. You just need to backtrack and figure out like, well, how do I get 100 leads a month? Well, to get 100 leads a month, I need to set up an inbound system. I need to run paid ads. I need to get a system set up to where I can qualify people without me having to just DM everybody by hand because it's going to take forever, right? Or I need to set up a system where it attracts my ideal avatar, my ideal client that comes in and then books a call with me or becomes a lead, right? So it's just reverse engineering that to where you want to go. And it makes it a lot more attainable, and it makes it a lot less of like a scary hill to climb, if that makes sense. Because when I was first starting, I was just super nervous and super like scared of hitting these goals because I just felt like it was like this enormous thing that I would never be able to do. But then once you hit it, you're like, oh, that was just numbers. Like it was just math. And that's all it comes down to, right? So I kind of a little bit of a rant today, but hopefully you guys like this. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. If you want to know like what metrics we track, like how that works, there should be like a link below this video to join either one of our free trainings or our school group. And we break a bunch of stuff down in there. That's something we help our clients with as far as like what they should actually track to get to where they want to go. But yeah, let me know if this is helpful. And if you want to learn more about what we do, you can click the link below, schedule a call with our team. We'd love to chat, see if we can help. Outside of that, keep being awesome, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.